Good morning, you guys. Good afternoon, actually. We are walking. It's the first day that I could actually walk since being back in my Pilates girl era, y'all. Rather than having these videos be like solely about terzepatide, I'm just gonna talk about life and about the things that have been consuming my time and my mind. And typically those all kind of revolve around health, wellness, and the opposites of that, like anxiety, depression. 2026, we're just gonna talk. We're just gonna yap. You could even call this a podcast, if you will. Wow, we are being productive and walking. My weight loss has stalled, which is, it is what it is. I'm so fucking used to that because I was so used to like the past 5 years trying to lose weight and never losing a pound until getting on the GLP-1. But rather than upping my dose and being super reliant on the medication to get me to my goals, what I have learned is that it's just a matter of being in a deeper caloric deficit. So I think in the past, I would try to convince myself like, okay, let's just go to the gym, wake up at the ass crack of dawn, go before work. And that would work like sometimes. Like I'd have the momentum and the discipline to do it, but I was never fully committed to that because I realized I'm just not a gym girly, at least not in this point of my fitness journey. I think I am very visual and results driven. So given that my body fat percentage is still somewhat very high to what I'm used to, whenever I'm like busting my ass in the gym by myself and I still see like my fupa and like I still see like all the excess fat that I have to lose, it's not motivating for me. And of course, like I could work out in like an oversized t-shirt or whatever, but I have to be in classes. So this is not sponsored. I wish it was, but I renewed my Classpass. It's not even a membership. I think you could just buy credits, but I'm on Classpass again. And it's like one of the best things that I've ever done for myself because a little background about me, I used to be a competitive dancer. I was very regimented I am a regimented person, but when I was, heavily competing in dance, I would be at practice the same time every day, very routine. And I realized that is how I'm meant to train. And that's what works best. Like I'm very motivated by others around me and almost competitive. I think I kind of lost that ever since I went into the workforce and I stopped competing and whatnot, but it's always been in me to just work out and to just work with other like-minded people. So I realized like being in classes like Pilates and yoga, that's what I need to do, at least in this first part of this current phase of my fitness journey where I'm getting back into really being disciplined and being consistent with fitness, is to be in classes, because I will be so consistent in the gym and then I'll just fall off because life happens, or I allow myself to like just fall off for whatever excuse I have at the time. But with Classpass, it's somewhat, I wouldn't say affordable, but you don't have to have like a membership where you have to pay, like commit to like a certain amount of months. You just buy the credits, and the first 2 weeks you actually get a free trial. Bitch, I've used that free trial with different numbers. Oh my God. Please don't cancel me, Classpass, but do it, y'all. If you haven't used the free trial, do it. It's so worth it. You don't have to be fixed to one studio. It's a good way to like figure out what studios are around you. If you are a former dancer or cheerleader or anything like that, try Pilates if you haven't, because it's really freaking fun. And don't underestimate mat Pilates, y'all. Anyway, I've been finding different studios in my area, and it will just take a little like trial and error until you figure out like which studio you feel comfortable in, because there are like a lot of older women, and I feel less intimidated because we're all kind of like on a similar level. And then there'll be studios with a bunch of like hot young bitches that have been doing this shit forever, and they have like abs on top of their abs, and I'm not trying to do that just yet. I'm working towards that. But you just kind of find where you belong, and that's the great thing about Classpass, is that it allows you to do that because you get to go to different studios. So that is what I've been on, y'all, and it's been working out great. I've been like super sore, and I was supposed to do a class with my sister because she's also into Classpass, but she ended up like not waking up. We were supposed to take a yoga sculpt class, I think that's what it's called, at Core Power. Bitch, if you know anything about Core Power, I was thinking Core Power was just like for like the granola girlies that love to juice, and it was like super chill, and it's like, you know, we're doing stretching and yoga. No, babe, like the class that I went to, this girl got us doing burpees in a heated room. But anyway, I was supposed to take a class with my sister, and it's like 30 minutes away. I drive over to the core power place, and then it's 10 o'clock, the class is at 10, and I'm like, ask my sister, I'm like, hey, where are you? I look up, find my friends, this bitch is at home sleeping. So I was like, okay, I did not just drive all the way out here to, you actually get fined if you don't cancel your class in advance. So that's another good thing about Classpass is like, there's like consequences for not showing up to the classes. But I ended up taking this fucking core power class. Something that I need to work on, I've always known this, is that I'm not really good at high intensity, like getting my heart rate up. I'm not a runner. I wish I was. I get so jealous of people that can run long distances, because I could barely walk up this fucking incline in the neighborhood. Like, something I gotta work on. A bitch has asthma. You know, I was in there in this heated class doing burpees and jumping jacks on the D, and it's like it was never ending, and it was so hard to a point where I was just crying my eyes out in the class because it's heated. We were all sweating. Like my tears were like blending into my sweat, so no one could really tell. But it was like in that moment I realized, I was like, wow, I'd rather be here struggling, choosing to, you know, bust my ass in this class, versus struggling again in the next couple months, feeling fucking fat in whatever outfit I'm trying to wear, you know? Like, I'm so sick and tired of it. I think there was a mental switch that happened that needed to happen, but I've been having like a lot of anxiety about my future lately. For example, like now that I'm married, I would love to have like kids in the future, God willing, but that anxiety and fear of giving birth has been literally keeping me up at night. I don't know why. I just like allowed myself to ruminate on it, and it's been scaring me. And then I just prayed to God, and I was like, God, just show me what I need to do to overcome this fear and anxiety. And in that moment, in that core class, when I was fucking crying on the floor, just trying to focus on breathing, I was like, this is the shit that I need to do to get over my fear and anxiety. Because for the longest, I had this mentality like, God, like take the pain away, you know, like help prevent me from going down any path that involves pain and suffering. But that is just unrealistic to ask for if you're living on earth. So rather than that, my prayer and intention is for God to give me the strength to endure whatever it is He has planned. Because at the end of your pain and suffering and anxieties and whatnot, you become a stronger person, and you feel like you can just fucking do anything in life because you can. And for a while, I like, after like healing from the Adderall and like a bunch of stuff I had to do internally, I just didn't want to be strong anymore. You know, there comes a point where you're just sick and tired of being strong, and you don't want to be courageous, and you don't want to be brave. At least that's what I always felt, being the oldest of like 4 girls and stuff, to like immigrant parents. It's just like I allowed myself to just kind of become weak. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like, you know, there'll be times in your life where you just feel fragile and weak, and that's okay. And especially like after finding my husband, I was able to be in like my feminine energy. I think it was still somewhat like wounded feminine energy, but I'm getting out of that where, you know, I can be strong still, and I could still be taken care of, and I don't have to be fucking superwoman and do everything at once like my mom. So a point of that is like, if I get to choose what I am going to suffer with in life, I'd rather choose to suffer in these workouts. I'd rather choose to suffer being a mom rather than being in constant survival mode, just trying to make it, you know, make it through the day. So I am rewiring my relationship with pain and suffering to be like from being negative and something that I should avoid, to something that I embrace and I welcome in my life. It like levels me up, and I become the woman that God has always wanted me to be. So that was that big ass revelation that I had in that core power class. And in the end of the class, like after it's like said and done, they give you this simple cold towel with like a hint of lavender, essential oils, and it just feels like euphoric, and it allows you to appreciate the little things in life, like a fucking cold towel. And that is like the way I want to live my life, because even like during this holiday season, I feel like a little, like I'm so thankful to be able to get Christmas gifts and stuff and to get them for other people. But like after having our wedding and like having it being so close to Christmas and then my birthday is coming up, it feels like I don't need all these fucking gifts. I just want to, I'm getting emotional. I just want to give back. I don't, not that I don't deserve the things that I'm getting, but like, it feels like almost like, what's the word? Like gluttonous in a way, to like keep on receiving when I feel like I have something to give. And I think that's why I want to like try to do these walking and talking videos, because this is like where I can start by just sharing what I'm going through and helping hopefully one person that's also on their journey to becoming like the best version of themselves. My intention for the remainder of this 2025 year is to take class. Now that my diet is under control with the help of the GLP-1, now I can really just put that energy that I was using so much of my energy on like food, I can put that now to taking class and actually listening to my body and becoming more attuned with mind, body, soul, and whatnot. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm really excited. I actually feel excited to be alive for once and to go into the next year, because I have clear goals that actually feel attainable. And a lot of it honestly started ever since I made the decision to go on the compounded terzepatide and to get help. So if I could tell myself something last year, like my previous self, is to just don't be afraid of getting help. Don't be afraid to just explore the option of being on a GLP-1. Like, do your own research, and you'll find like the more that you allow yourself to improve and not have to do everything the hardest fucking way, the more you're able to actually put that energy into other things that you've been wanting to do, and life becomes so much more fulfilling. Just move your body, y'all. It's easier said than done, but find the things that you love where moving your body doesn't feel like a chore. If I wasn't filming this video, I'm not even gonna lie, I probably wouldn't have taken this walk just now, because there's something about walking and talking for me, because it doesn't feel like I'm walking. It just feels like I'm just talking to y'all, my friends. So find those things that like light you up inside and that actually give you a sense of joy that also contribute to your health. If that's taking a dance class, if that's taking a Pilates class. And what I've also learned is that like doing these classes and like being able to buy the foods that you love that are healthy, it's a privilege. And it's sad that it has to be so hard sometimes for people. Like, I could only imagine like being a mom and stuff, like just, you have to plan your whole day around it. And I'm just really thankful that, you know, I don't have any kids and I'm able to take a class on a Sunday or after work, you know, at 5 p.m. because that's a privilege, you know, to move your body. And so if you have a able body, if you have the time, you've just been lazy or you've been putting it off or making a million excuses, here's your sign to just do it. Just take the class. It doesn't matter if you feel like you look stupid. It doesn't matter if you're there alone, because after that, you're gonna feel so much happier. You're gonna be so proud of yourself, and you're gonna find that this is what life is about. It's about just doing the things that scare you every day and that push you out of your comfort zone. And it's about actually loving the body that you're in. That's it, y'all. I love you. And until next walk and talk, bye.